Hello friends, this session is regarding the basic commands of Linux. So this session is for those who are completely new to the Linux and they want to learn about it, or it's something new in your job and you don't know how to start with Linux. So I will try to include certain basic commands which will be required uh, to perform basic tasks. So to start with, I'm currently logged into Red Hat Linux version 6, and I'm logged in with the root user ID. Root user ID is a ID that have all the administrative privileges to achieve certain tasks. The other regular ID does not have the specific rights to complete it, but with the root ID is the one which has all the capabilities to perform any task you need to do with the Linux. So just in case if you gain access to this root ID, be very careful. You can completely mess up with the whole system. So let's start with the basic command ls. Ls stands for list. So ls stands for listing the files. Currently I am working in the root directory, and I have listed all the files which are present in the root directory. Now if you want to see where you are working right now, if you are not sure where you are working, so if you just type pwd, it will show you the directory where you are working at present. So pwd is print working directory, and which is /root. Now if you want to see all the files that are hidden, so you can type ls-a. ls-a stands for hidden files. So the files which you can see starts with dot, those are the hidden files. Now if you notice, you are just able to see the files, but you're not able to see the attribute of the files. You're not sure when they were created, what are their permissions, and who is the owner of the file, and what is the size of the file. So to see that, you have to do ls minus space hyphen l. Hyphen l stands for listing, and ls hyphen ll stands for long listing. Basically they both say show the same results. So if you see here, these are the permissions. These are certain advanced features which we can talk about in the later videos. So what is the user and the group of that particular file, what is the size of the file, when it was created, and what is the name of the file. So you can all see all these options here. For example, this file test backup.tar, it's a backup file. gz is for used for compressing the file, like a zip file in your Windows. So currently we are working in the terminal window, which is similar as the command prompt uh, in your Windows. So to open it, you can just right click and do open in terminal, and you can open it. Okay, so if you want to see what are the options available for a particular command, you can use a manual command. man stands for manual. So if you want to see the manual of anything, for example ls, you want to see what all options are available, you can just type man space the command name, and you can see there are a number of options available for it. Now if you want to exit it, you have to just type q, and that will exit the manual file. Now there are certain wild characters which you can use with these commands. Those are asterisk, question mark, and the close brackets. Now how to use them? Now let's say you want to see all the files which starts with A, but you don't know what is their rest of the portion or what is the extension of the file. So if you give ls space A asterisk, it currently listed one file abch. Currently I'm working in the desktop directory, so it's showing just one file. I will get out of this directory. To get out of the directory, you just type cd. cd is to change the directory. So right now if you see, I'm working in the root directory. So if I type a asterisk right now, you can see I have certain number of files. Now if you want to list a file, it starts with AB and there is just one more letter left after this, but you don't know what it is, then question mark. So it is ABH. Now ls and asterisk and question marks works the same way. The only difference is in asterisk, you are not sure how many letters are left after you type A or AB. You're not sure, and you're not sure what is extension. So it will show everything. When you're giving a question mark, you are sure that this is just ABH and just one letter is missing. That's why you're giving the question mark. That is the only difference. Now let's say you want to see all the files which starts with A and that ends with H, and there could be anything after A or B or C. So you give the syntax ls brackets A hyphen H. If you want to see if the files till Z, you can type A hyphen Z, uh, bracket close and then asterisk. Now if you want to clear the screen, you can just type C, or you can also type clear and it will clear the screen. So I will just type C here and it will clear the screen. Now if you want to see all the files and the folders and their subfolders, their subfiles, how you can see it? You can type -R and it will -R stands for recursive mode, so it will show all the files, their folders, their subfolders and everything. And ls hyphen small r, that was the capital R, the small r stands for reverse order. It will show all the files in the reverse order. Now let's say your boss asks you to list all the files with their attributes and including the hidden files, but that should appear in the reverse order. You can basically combine all these commands. To do this, you can simply type ls-l for listing hidden files, reverse order, and it will show you everything. There are so many options available with every command. If you want to really uh, get if you want to get used to it, you have to read the manual file and see what all parameters are available, which are the good ones you will need on regular basis. So you have to practice and you have to read the manual files. So manual file is even available for manual itself. Let's see, if you type just man, you will see the manual file for manual itself. So I will just quit it. Now that was to list the files and to change the directory. Now if you want to create the files, how you can create it? So to create files, you can use options like cat, touch and vi. Let's see cat first. uh, test 1. So this is test 1. Enter. If you want to save this file, press Ctrl D as in Delta. This will save the file. Now if you want to see what's in there, so you can just type cat and the file name and it will list the content. Now if you want to add some more data into it, test 2. If you do this, let's see what happens. This is test 2. Ctrl D to save it. Cat test 2. Okay, alright, I give the wrong file name here, so cat test 1. Okay, that was the file initially we were working with, which we created. So I type in this is test 2, Control D. Now initially if you see, we wrote here this is test 1 in test 1 file, and then we wrote this is test 2 in the same test 1 file. So ideally it should have this is test 1 and this is test 2, both the lines. Let's see what we have. It only contains this is test 2. What cat command does is, if you use the same syntax that you used to create the file, it will override the file instead of appending the file. So if it is a really important file and if you just use the same method, you will mess up with the whole file. So if you want to add more content into it, you have to use double greater than sign. And now this is test3, control D, cat test1. Now you can see you have both the text. This is text2, test2, and this is test3. This is how you can use it. Now that's how you use the cat command. If you want to use the touch, you can use touch and t1. That's how you create the file. Now the benefit for using the touch command is you can create number of files at the same time. So I'm just creating few files. Now it has created all the files. If you want to see it, ls, and you can see t1, t2, t3. It has created all files. So using the touch command, you can create good number of files at at once. Third option is vi. Vi is visual interface. So let's say you want to create a file abc. Okay, and right now you are in the abc file, but you will not be able to type in unless you go to the insert mode. So if you press I, you will go to the insert mode. So let's say this is a test abc file. Again test file, test 1 2. So I'm just typing in some random test or certain words. Okay, just for testing. Now in order to save this file, press the escape key and press shift colon W for saving the file, Q for quit. So this file is now saved. If you want to see it, cat abc, you can see the text we just typed in into this file. Now let's get back to the same file, test abc. Now let's say abc. Now let's say we have a requirement where we want to copy certain lines. Let's say first 3 lines you want to copy these. So in order to copy it, you can simply type YY. You have to go to the escape mode first. If you are in insert mode, just press escape key, go to the escape mode and press YY, and then where you want to copy it, just go there and type P. It will copy it. Now let's say you want to copy 2 lines, so 2YY, number 2, then YY, then P, it will copy 2 lines. So similarly, if you want to copy 5 lines, so it's 5YY. If you want to copy a single word, then you have to use Y as in Yankee, W as in whiskey, YW, and go there and P for paste, so it will copy a single word. Similarly, you can use 2YW and 3YW to copy multiple words. Now if you have to copy the single character, um, you can use YL and go there where you want to paste it and type P. Similarly, if you want to copy more than one character, you can use 2YL, 3YL, and so on. Now you won't be able to remember all this unless you practice, and as I said, like go through the manuals and see what all options are available. Now if you want to delete some line, you can simply type DD, D as in Delta, D as in Delta, and it will delete the line. So that's how if you want to delete one character, you have to type DL, it will delete one character. 2DL, 2 characters. If you want to undo it, just press U. And if you want to redo it, press Ctrl All, it will redo it. And if you want to, let's say, copy this line 100 times, so just type 100p, so it will copy it 100 times. So that's how you use it. if you want to go to the bottom of the page, the last line of the page, just type capital G. If you want to go to the top of the page, you just type GG. You will go to the top of the page. If you want to find a certain word in this file, uh, just start with backslash, and let's say you want to search for ABC, so it will find ABC in this file. That's how you use it. Now let's save and exit this file. For save and exit, you type WQ. If you want to just quit this file, and if you don't want to save it, then you don't have to type W, just type Q, and then exclamation and exit. So that's how you do it. And now that was about creating the files. Now let's say if you want to make a directory, like a folder. So mkdir stands for make directory. Let's say you want to create directory 10. Okay, it already exists, so the mkdir directory dir, let's say 22 or 23 instead. So it has created one directory here. Let's see. Okay, you can see there is one directory created, dir23. Now if you want to go inside dir23 and create one more directory, so you can change the directory to dir23. Go in that directory. You can see right now your working directory is directory 23, and here you want to create one more file, directory 1, directory 2, so you can even create multiple directories there. And if you want to create files here, cat abc, so you can also create the files here. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Now let's say you want to uh, delete a directory. Now in order to delete the directory, you can use rm is for remove, rm space minus rf is for removing it forcefully, directory 3, so ls, uh, it's mkdir3 ls. Now the directory is gone. So that's how you can create directory, and you can also delete the directory. CD is for changing the directories. If you just type CD, you will go to the root directory where you started. Now let's say if you want the files which you created, you want to see the top of the file or bottom of the file. Let's see, abc cat abc. First go to the root directory, cat abc. Okay, now let's say if you just want to view the last 3-4 lines of this file and you do not want to see all the lines, so you can just type tail -4 -4 abc. It will just show the last 4 lines are empty, so it's not showing anything. Make it to 10, so it will show you the last 10 lines. And if you do the head, same way it will show the top of the file. So that's how you can also use head and tail. So you can give certain options here, like head -10 -10 -10 will show the top 10 lines. Tail -20 will show the last 20 lines. So that's how you can use head option and the tail option. Now let's say let's create 2 test files here. Touch touch T1 and T2. Now cat t1 test file t1, save it, cat t2, and this I will just write t2. Now if you want to copy the contents of the file which are there in t1 to the file in t2, what you can do is you can type cp is for copying the files. You can type t1 t2. So we are saying copy the contents of the file which are in t1 to file t2. Now it will give you a warning option if you want to overwrite it. If I say yes, now let's see what we have in t2. So now you can see the contents which we wrote in t1, those are now available in file t2. That's how you can copy it. Not only the file contents, you can even copy the files in a directory. Let's say you want to copy this file t2 in directory 23 that we created, so you can simply type copy t2 in directory 23 ls, okay, cd dir 23 ls. So now you can see the t2 file got copied in this particular directory. Now like copying, you can also move files. Let's say you want to move the file dir1 here to dir2. Okay, so you want to move the directory dir1 to dir2. What you can do is you can use a command mv dir1 dir2. So now you can see dir1 is gone. Let's go to dir2, change the directory, ls, dir1 is present here. So this way you can also move the directory. Using mv, you can move the directory and you can also rename the files and the folders. Let's see how. Mv dir1, that's the name of the folders which exist right now. I want to rename it to dir5. Enter ls. Now you can see it also got renamed. Using the same command, you can move the files and you can also rename it. So these were the few basic commands in Linux to start with. I will try to come up with the more videos with more advanced topics and more advanced commands. Till then, practice these commands and read the manuals to know more about it, to know more options about it. Till then, goodbye.